Okay. Perfect setup.
All right. Looks like mics are all set. And it'll be fine, right?
It's fine. It's fun.
We both got green. That's good. Welcome back to Ask The Conch.
Ask The Conch.
I'm Brooklynne.
Yeah, maybe.
So I did have a little bit of a setup. Obviously, you know kind of what happened already. Reddit's being a little silly today. Apparently, our Reddit profile is 54 years old.
We old.
What is it?
It's a good year, 1969.
Yeah, December 31st, 1969. You don't know. That's crazy. Anyways, everything that I had planned for today just is out the window. I don't know what's going on. So I had to do some last minute digging. So we're going to see how interesting it is. That should be good. I think it'll be good.
Rolling with it.
Yeah, we're just going to see how it goes. Oh, yeah, that's an update one. Ooh. We're going to save that one first. We're going to do this one because honestly, I didn't even read this. Okay, wait. Oh.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay. Anyways. So, am I the asshole for telling my son's birth mom that she's more like a sister? Am I the asshole for telling my son's birth mom that she's more like a sister? Okay, so like a dog. Okay, we need to read.
Yeah. We need some more facts.
Yeah.
Sister.
Yeah, right. I'm confused. Sounds like Sims. No. I adopted my son when he was born. It was an open adoption, but the birth mom, Beth, was so greatly ashamed of being a teen mom that she didn't follow up on any contact, which is fine because I had no intention of involving her too much. The truth is that Ethan grew up with 2 dads and 3 older brothers. We always try to have him spend time with girls. A couple of years ago when Ethan was 9, Beth reached out to see how he was doing. I think she spent the last 9 years being an overachiever so she'd feel worthy of having a relationship with Ethan. Ivy League, married a hedge fund dude, yoga, etc. Wow, this person sounds nice. Ethan is incredibly self-aware and intellectual. You cannot bullshit him, so he and I enjoy a very open relationship. I told him his mom reached out to me and I asked about him. I emphasized that she didn't forget about him, but she had to go away to work on herself. I asked how he'd feel about talking with her, and he said he was open to it. They have a good relationship and spend time together. He's met her husband. It's been a good thing to know his bio family. Ethan is starting 6th grade, and he has to pick an elective class. There's been arguments about what that class will be. Anyways, he told Beth about it, and she fucked up by getting involved with the matter. She said, "What's the big deal about his doing your book? That he should do what he wants to do. It's his class." I was like, "You got me fucked up." I said, "Girl, you are not his mom. You're more like a sibling, and siblings don't get away with parenting decisions. You take a back seat. You're a seat filler in the life of Ethan. Just don't forget your place." She didn't say anything and went radio silent. I was the bigger person and reached out. I said, "I've been raising that kid for 11 years, so it was triggering for you to give your 2 parenting cents. You need to understand that. He understands that, so you should too. I guess she's waiting for me to apologize for something she did. I will not. Once you do that, then everything goes bad." So,
yeah, we're like a sister.
Yeah, so, I mean, honestly, okay, so maybe the idea is saying more like a sister specifically because there's blood relation there. Because to me, I would think like you're more of like a friend. I mean, especially not even because
11 years
like an aunt.
Anything. Yeah,
like an aunt. Because let's see. He's starting 6th grade, and I'm just thinking, yeah, so 11 years old, like what?
And that's a detrimental age of confusion.
Well, and it through the whole thing, it's like very like open about. I mean, even at a young age, has been open about the situation.
Yeah, so the kid understands, and you know, why doesn't she? Yeah, I feel like that's overstepping bounds.
So
trying to step in and parent.
So Ethan is starting 6th grade and he has to pick an elective class. There has been arguments about what that class will be. So I'm a little confused about that, I guess, because like, I don't know, my parents were never like, you have to take this, you have to take that, you know, and I know a lot of people did have parents who were like that, who were like, you have to take wood shop, or you have to take, you know, welding, or you have to do this, you have to do that, you got to be a fucking nurse, you know, you got to go to college,
my grandpa.
you got to do this, you know, and it's so I'm a little confused as to why there's arguments there, just because like, and I mean, at least, I mean, I don't know how it works everywhere else, but 6th grade around here, nothing that you're going to school for is counting towards fucking shit. So why would I'm not yearbook. I mean, do they do the parents just want him to do a yearbook? Maybe, I don't know. It just seems a little weird. But I mean, yeah, there's definitely no say whatsoever. And so I would need to go in the comments because this has a big red thing on the top that says asshole. So like,
yeah, let's do some comments.
I mean,
yeah, on the parenting aspect, I'm saying no so far.
So okay, so maybe okay, I'm more confused. Okay, so I mean, is she wrong? Your son is in 6th grade. He's 11 years old. Why can't he do yearbook if that's what he wants to do? Why should you get to choose his elective class? She's correct. It's his class. You sound extremely controlling. So, okay, I'm a little confused because the question is, I'm looking at the question, and the question is, am I the asshole for telling my son's birth mom that she's more like a sister? No, you are not the asshole for doing that. Are you the asshole for making your kid take classes they don't want to take? Yeah, that's dumb.
Having an argument about it.
Yeah, that's stupid. Like, I mean,
like I could see the validation of say, oh, you can't argue with me about this because I've been raising this kid, you know.
Yeah, like the whole
in that argument aspect of it, but it's an elective. The kid could pick the damn elective.
Oh man, yeah, that's such a weird situation. Because like, I wonder what would the same thing have happened if it was someone else, if it was not the birthing person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if it was
like
just
if it was like an actual aunt or uncle,
open adoption kind of thing.
Yeah, but like, would you be so rude about it if it was like if it wasn't like the person who actually gave birth to your child? You know what I mean?
I mean, maybe if they were more involved with that kid.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
all
you're right.
Throughout growing up.
Yeah.
11 years in.
Yeah, I guess.
11 years in. Now I'm gonna make decisions. Well.
So
that burned my biscuit. Yeah. Like shit. I've been mom for way too long.
So I'm gonna like halfway disagree with the asshole thing on here because I don't think it just doesn't seem.
Yeah, for the question itself of telling my son's birth mom, which is more like a sister, I don't think you're an asshole for saying that. No,
for thinking I think that's
in that
fine.
Aspect.
Yeah, and then wow, slow your roll, OP. My son's just finished 6th grade and chose his electives. I've never heard of this so-called veto power. He's a great student, so it wouldn't even occur to me to try and meddle with his choices. If he wants to take an elective that's a bit more chill, he's entitled to it. Yeah, and especially because, like, at this age, nothing you're doing in school is, like, you're just, like, relearning over and over the same
algebra
shit.
that you'll never use again.
Yeah, and they, like, I remember one of my math teachers told me, I mean, who knows, now it's probably different again. But, like, for me, technically, like, we literally learned the first like half of the algebra book for like 6 years straight, and then they were like, okay, algebra 2, and then like by the time I graduated, I was like, no, I can't do none of this.
Yeah, I was
and
great.
My teacher was like, we get it, it's okay, we'll put you in the other class.
And then they changed it to Common Core math, and I'm like, I don't understand.
I did money math. I was able to do money math, which I think was probably the most useful class I ever did.
That was like careers or whatever.
It was like
real world stuff. You could do a checkbook. Yeah, like
balance a checkbook. Figure out how much taxes are.
Budgeting.
Figure out how to tip. Figure out percentages and stuff, like, and like,
awesome.
you know, some fractions and stuff, which I mean, that's like, it's crazy because that class, and then I took food and beverage management online, which was also pretty helpful for like jobs that I've had, but was also
so they didn't have a home ec class anymore.
So yeah, that was like the closest thing I could get to a home ec class. And like, it's crazy because I've been talking to Brett about it because my 10-year reunion is literally in like a week and a half or something. And I just keep thinking, like, what have I done in the last 10 years? And I still don't even know what I want to do. So like, because if I would have like went to college right out of high school, I would have went to college for baking. I worked in a restaurant for 6 months, and I was like, I am never gonna own a bakery. It's not happening. I was like, this is awful. This is the worst decision I ever made. And then I was like, I'm so glad I didn't go to college. Like, because especially now, like, it would be. Anyways, okay. So let's go to the next one. This one is from our stories, which I very vaguely looked in this one. Well, and so it's weird because like this one, it says nonfiction, so maybe we won't do it. I don't know. Okay, we'll do it.
True story?
That's what it's saying. But like it says, it's from our stories, so people can like make stories in there or whatever. But so okay. So I saved a man's life, and his wife yelled at me for touching him. Yep, you read that right.
Let him die. Okay. Shit.
Yep, you read that right. I, female, was visiting a nature reserve in Croatia when I was 17, 18 years old. There was a big lake/river mouth thing where people swam.
Mouth thing?
Yeah, right. They definitely don't write stories, I don't think. Big river mouth thing.
In the Croatias.
This 40 to 50-year-old man had swam way too far down and got himself caught in a current. He was shouting for help as it was clear he couldn't swim well, but no one but me was hearing him. I'm a really strong swimmer, and it felt like if I went to go get professional help, he'd have already been at the risk of drowning. So I swam over, grabbed his arm, managed to aim and guide us over to the side of the river where we could grab a hold of some branches. I then guided us upriver against the current by pulling ourselves along the plants, got to the bank. He was so thankful, but couldn't speak too much English, and I spoke no Croatian. I shook his hand and just headed away when his wife came over and started yelling at me. She said I had no right to touch her husband in the water like that and called me a whore.
You whore, how dare you?
Then dragged him away. To this day, it's one of the maddest things that's ever happened to me. Maybe she was betting on a life insurance payout.
You fucked it all up. He was going to do all the work for me. Dang it.
Comment, it's because she threw him in there.
Sink or swim, wait. Oh my God.
What the I'm picturing Scooby-Doo and the wife later yelling, I'd have gotten away with it if it wasn't for that darn kid.
Rascally kids. With the mask on.
I can't believe I almost skipped over that. She was so close to getting the life insurance payout.
So close. Dang it for a good swimmer. Oh my God. Oh man.
So, okay, are we ready for the next one?
Let's do it. Dun, 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 dun.
Am I the asshole for letting my family move in because my 16-year-old son doesn't want them to?
Wait, one more time. Am I the asshole for
refusing
to
let my family move in because my 16-year-old son doesn't want them to?
Okay, interesting.
About 5 years ago, my husband cheated on me and then abandoned our family. Oh, that's a sweet beginning.
Yeah.
It was an incredibly difficult time. I was left alone to raise our son, who was just 11 at the time. None of my family members offered any help or support. We were essentially on our own. The only person who helped us was my father, who was a great support system both emotionally and financially. When my father passed away 2 years ago, he left me a significant inheritance. This money allowed me to buy a house and provide a stable and comfortable life for my son and me. Since my husband left, my son and I have become very close. We've been through a lot together, and our bond is incredibly strong. I would do anything for him. Recently, some of my extended family members have fallen on hard times and asked if they could move in with us. Given our history, I was initially hesitant. I discussed it with my son, and he was very much against the idea. He remembers how nobody was there for us when we needed them most, and he feels strongly that they shouldn't benefit from our home now.
Go eat, kid.
Understanding his feelings and valuing his comfort, I decided to tell my family they couldn't move in with us. Now they're upset and accusing me of being selfish and ungrateful. They say that I owe them support because we're family.
Oh.
I don't think that I'm an asshole and honestly don't care what they think as long as my baby is happy, but I still want to hear other people's opinions. So, am I the asshole for refusing to let my family move in because my son doesn't want them to, especially considering the way they treated us when we were the ones in need?
Wowzers. No, not an asshole. No.
I want to read this first comment. So first comment is, make it awkward. Send a group text or a chat and tell them that you would give them the exact same level of support that you got when your husband cheated and took off when you were left raising a child on your own. Simple as that. And they will either get the message and leave you alone or start pandering on with excuses. If they start with excuses, I'd go even more petty and use the same excuses back at them. Oh, well, we didn't know it was so hard for you, and we're past that now. I didn't know it was so hard for you, and well, you've already lost your house, so we're past that now. Hilarious that they all come out of the woodwork now that you have money. Idiots, all of them. I'd mess with them so badly just because they sound like absolutely awful people. Not the asshole, though, by a long shot. I will add, though, whatever you do, do not tell them that it was your son who influenced your decision. He does not need the flying monkeys to start attacking him.
Right.
And while it is admirable you sought out his opinion because it's his home too, don't throw him under the bus, even by accident, with these people. They will go for him, even if they think it was his fault. They don't get to exploit you.
Yeah, him being a smart, seeing it as a 16-year-old kid, understanding and seeing it. The motherfuckers weren't around when we needed help.
Yeah, so
right.
The verdict is not the asshole, which I definitely wholeheartedly agree in this situation. I feel like these titles have been a little confusing so far.
Yeah,
like they're just
they're just a smidge more information, or the wording is just enough off to where my brain's like, Duh.
You know, it's funny too, because I was telling Brett when I brought him to his appointment today about how it's hard to gauge like how things are going to go for each thing that we read, because sometimes I read it and we can talk about it for 5 minutes and then it's like, okay, that's it, and we're done and we move on. And then sometimes we're on a story for 20 minutes or I guess maybe
one spot and we're just bent.
Yeah, I almost want to go. I think it's episode 2. There was one story that like I couldn't even read the whole way because I started going off and then I was like, okay,
yeah, we get spicy.
So this one is in relationship advice, and this one is 9 hours old. It's only got 248 upvotes and 99 comments.
Fresh.
Yeah, it looked pretty spicy. So, did I already say it's in relationship advice? Yeah. I think my belly just took a screenshot. But anyways.
Being a star again.
32 female in a drunken state, told my husband, 35 male, that I loved him so much I'd forgive him if he did cheat with a coworker a few years ago. He didn't deny nor confirm, and his response has been bothering me. Did I fuck up my peace of mind? Okay. So here we go. A few years ago, my husband worked in a Vietnamese foreign national who he kind of mentored, or who worked with a Vietnamese foreign national who he kind of mentored at work and trained her. She seemed sweet and I never felt threatened. Then she started sending him home with boxes of fruit, purchased some food for Thanksgiving and sent it home with him. Would call him past midnight from Vietnam to talk about her parents, etc. I called him out as she is married and I was pregnant with our first child at the time. He told me she wasn't close to her husband because they only married for papers and he even lived in separate apartments. Well, the final straw of doubt was when she showed up at the hospital the day after I gave birth to our child. She was dressed in a full gala gown due to a work function for them that day and asked my husband in front of me if he wanted to be her date for the night for the event since I couldn't go anywhere. Livid is a mild description of what I felt. He isn't going anywhere with you. We just had our baby, blurted out of my mind. And then my husband had a brief look of disbelief in his face. And he too told her no because he was on paternity leave and was staying with his wife and newborn. It's been 5 years since then, and I can't shake the feeling that he cheated on me while I was pregnant. It's been hard to reconcile his serious demeanor and gentleman ways with the evidence that there may have been something. He swears she's just friendly and didn't have friends and maybe a cultural difference. Well, we had a date night a few months ago in which, in an inebriated state, I told him that even if he had cheated on me, I'd still love him. I don't know what I was expecting, and I guess I may not have meant it because he just chuckled and laughed it off. He did not deny it. I've been thinking of it as a hypothetical these past 5 years, and now it's turned into a real possibility. I keep having dreams where he's cheating with coworkers and fathering a child, etc. Not knowing is eating at me, but if I keep prodding him about it, I may as well divorce. What should I do? Let it go and believe him?
Woof. That is just living rent free in her head.
Yeah, like I would definitely the fact that he laughed it off, like
that's rough.
Well, I mean,
but then I also have a follow-up conversation or something. Ask those questions.
Yeah, I feel like so it doesn't really say if he was drunk, and like I feel like if like it's a weird thing to say to your spouse, and then it's a weird thing to just laugh about. But also, like, if you're an awkward person, I can also very easily see, like,
I'm a terrible nervous laugher.
But so, I don't know. Maybe this is me being naive, but I don't feel like he cheated on her.
I don't think so either.
I think him laughing it off actually really tells me the answer, because I feel like if you were to say something like that, I feel like if someone's trying to back themselves up, they're going to be like, well, you know, what gave you that idea? Like, you know, kind of at least a little defensive compared to like, okay, this is weird. Like, like, why did you make it weird? We're trying to have a date night. Like, why'd you bring that up? Like, so, all right, let's go to the. Yeah, if my wife suddenly said something like this while drunk, I'd be really weirded out and probably wouldn't say anything, because even acknowledging it as a possibility gives it more consideration than it reserves. Maybe he laughed it off because it's a weird thing to say. If my partner said that to me in a drunken state, I'd be awkward as fuck and very thrown. Bear in mind, I would never cheat, but like, what on earth, girl? Did you mean those words? Maybe go to some counseling sessions or something and try to work out if you really want to press this further and what it will mean for you and your relationship if he has. Personally, I need to know. I wouldn't be able to leave it alone, but I wouldn't have waited 5 years. Maybe ignorance is bliss. I don't know.
Yeah, seems like that's a long time to let that eat at you.
Yeah.
Oof, that's not healthy.
That's
like self-toxic.
So, did you fuck up your peace of mind? You never had it. You haven't had it for 5 years.
There's no peace of mind from the get.
You haven't had a peace of mind in a little while. So, okay. So we got one more, and then there's the one that has the update that I'm curious about. So, am I the asshole for wanting a post-nup with my husband after finding out he has a child?
Interest.
I don't know how laws work, so I feel like, I don't know. Let's read them.
Yeah.
Recently, my husband's ex from high school showed up saying they had a child together 13 years ago, and now their daughter wants to get to know him. They broke up right after high school and went to different unis. They were already broken up when she found out she was pregnant, and since she wanted to go to med school, her parents offered to take care of the baby, but apparently banned her from telling my husband. I'm 100% supportive of my husband getting to know his daughter, but at the same time, I have some financial concerns. I came into this marriage with more assets, I earn more than him, and financial stability is important to me. The thought of something happening to him and losing part of my assets to his child terrifies me. Sharing everything with my husband never bothered me before because that's part of marriage, but him suddenly having a daughter is not what I signed up for. Therefore, I want a post-nuptial agreement that protects my assets. When I told this to my husband, he got very frustrated with me, saying that he just found out he has a daughter and he wasn't in her life for the first 13 years. He is still in shock, and one of the first things I do is come at him with a post-nup, making it seem like I'm preparing to divorce him. I think I'm justified in wanting a post-nup. I've spent the last 2 months being extremely supportive of him and managing this situation. I don't see why wanting a peace of mind for myself is bad, but one of my friends also said I'm kind of an asshole for bringing up a post-nup, and it's not like my husband is likely to die anytime soon. That makes me really need this. Am I the asshole? I'm going to say no, only because, I mean, I feel like it's a valid reason.
Absolutely.
Regardless of anything that happens, I mean, it's not a piece of paper saying we're getting a divorce. It's just a piece of paper saying
looking
for like that
saving the future.
Yeah. So, and I mean, and
how terrible! This guy never had any parental rights.
Yeah. I also
keep it a secret.
I feel like they're
like legally.
I feel like
that's not his kid until they do, like paternity test and have it proven.
Yeah, and then they don't make you do back pay on that. I don't think either because you don't know. So I feel like
my nephews that I don't know because mom took him away and was like, you have no parental rights, just disappeared.
So yeah, I don't think. I mean, I guess we don't know the situation and how it was brought up. I mean, as long as it was like explained, in a very good situation of like, hey, I just want this to be taken care of because, I mean, I still would like our things to be split 50-50, but I don't want to split things 50-50 with anyone but you, unless it's like our children.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that's nerve-wracking. That is nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it's crazy. So this one's only 11 hours old. So, not the asshole. Your husband now has financial and blood inheritance complications that you didn't know about going into the marriage, and in fairness, neither did he. The potential fate of your assets are not what you signed up for. But why is she telling your husband now? Her motives could be innocent, her motives could be something else, but you have to consider the ramifications of him establishing paternity, wanting a relationship, and possible back payments of child support. It sounds like any legal or child maintenance costs may be disproportionately paid for by you rather than him because of your greater wealth, so you can't afford to wait for your husband to come to terms with the shock of his life. He is an emotional roller coaster right now, but there are financial and legal repercussions that might begin sooner rather than later. Someone has to think about that. You should ask for legal advice, not just for you, but on behalf of your husband too. Which I think, in general, when you do like prenups and postnups, I think you both get your own lawyer to make sure everyone's
and
represented.
Paternity tests and stuff. That's all got to go through the courts.
Yeah, that's got to be taken care of too, but. He should also bear in mind that finances, assets, legal consequences, and inheritances are the last thing on his mind right now, so you probably will sound cold, ruthless, and selfish to him right now. So not the asshole for being concerned and wanting to get this addressed sooner rather than later, but do make sure you are compassionate and empathetic about the situation and all the emotional toll of this will be having on your husband. You can do this in an empathetic way or an asshole and make sure it's the former, not the latter. So
Yeah. So I like kind of walking on eggshells with his emotions.
yeah,
Tackle.
I'm gonna go off on a little sort of a rant that's related to this in sort of a way. I'm gonna relate this to my life in a situation that literally has nothing to do with a human child at all. But so Friday, we had a pretty crazy day on Friday because Bender decided he was going to eat paintballs.
Baby boy Bender.
Yeah, my youngest dog, 7 months old, ate roughly, I don't know, between 200 and like 350 zombie blood green glow in the dark paintballs.
Freaking paintballs.
And he Kirby'd them bitches. They were gone in 2 seconds, and then he said, I'm gonna turn this into a power up, and started throwing up green everywhere. And I had to leave work in a rush, and then I was driving and trying to call the vet and figuring out, I was like pulling over at the railroad tracks, writing down poison control and all this. And I mean, Brett's here freaking out, taking care of all of the puke that's happening and our distended belly dog that we got going on. And I just like had to like call the vet, figure out everything on the phone. Brett, I wouldn't be surprised if he was probably crying because he was probably freaking out when he called me. And so then I'm like, all right, so here's what we're gonna do. And it was just like, I don't know, I gotta figure out what's gonna happen. And this is obviously an emergency situation. So after I got off the phone with animal control or freaking
the poison control.
Well, I called the vet first, and then I got the number and everything, and then I drove the rest of the way home, and I'm like calling Brett, and I'm like, hey, this is what I need you to do. So I had him, he's like talking about like, I'm trying to clean up the puke. And I was like, I don't even care about the puke on the floor. Fuck the puke on the floor. I'm worried about get the ice cream bucket from the backyard. And he was like, what?
Need the puke bucket.
Yeah, because like he gets sick in the car. And I mean, like, I can't. He pukes in the car if I don't give him Dramamine. So I knew he was going to throw up in the car. So I was like, just get the ice cream pail. Like, you're going to have to do your best, and you're going to just try and have to catch it in the car. And the whole time he's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, you heard me, because you can't drive.
You're on peak duty.
I have to be in the front and keep my shit together and drive us to the emergency vet situation. And you have to be in the back and hold his ass down. And please, dear God, don't let him puke all over the car.
Green forever.
And the fact that I did not get puke on me is crazy, honestly, because it was nuts. When he puked in the car, it was like projectile, and like he coughed at one point and it splattered on the roof. And Brett was like, oh no. And I'm like, whatever, just make sure you try and get in the bucket. So he's trying to like hold him down to get him to puke in the bucket, and he was having some issues. And I'm just like trying to watch the whole thing from the back or front seat, like, dear God, like, and then we get there, and like, then I had to call poison control so that we could figure out what kind of paintballs they were and blah, 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 blah. And they like took them through the back, walked them back through, and then brought them into a room. And they're like, yeah, we can feel the paintballs. And I'm like, yeah, I'm like, look at his belly. Like, you see how it's round? It's never round. Like, he's not round. He's a skinny boy. Like, he's tiny. So after we talked to poison control, and then I had to do all that, and then Brett had to talk to him for a minute, because all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he just like, because I'm on the phone, and I'm like, I don't know what kind of paintballs they are. They're like 10 years old. And he's like, zombie blood, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, do you know the parts number? Like, what the fuck?
You know,
like, I'm like, here you go. Like, take the phone. So then he talks to him for a minute. And then they come in and they give him the eye drops after we got the okay that we can make him puke. And then the most obnoxious, loudest puke that I've ever heard in my life. It was insane. Like, he sounded like he was bellowing. Like, and like, it was like these weird burps and stuff. It was crazy. And then like those cat box things, like the cat litter boxes that you can get that are like $2, that are like the XXL size. They're like huge, like 2 by 3 foot, like half a foot deep. He like filled one of those with paint. It was crazy. And they kept him until 7 o'clock, which was 2 hours after, and it was a nice big hefty bill, and he is lucky to be alive. and he got a nice diet of wet food for a few days. And
It's
oh my
spoiled
God.
foods.
Then I called my mom after it was a rough week, man. It was a rough week. But so when I called my mom, I was on the phone with her and I took him outside to go to the bathroom because, of course, he was peeing like crazy and stuff. And he finally pooped, and like it literally was like the color of our grass. And I was like, "What the fuck?"
We had to go in the dark.
No, it didn't. I did get the lights on though. Left the lights on for a while to see. So
for the science,
yeah.
And,
So I mean, again, this had literally nothing to do with wanting and posting up with my husband for our non-existent child or whatever. But like. Why did I bring this up even? I can't even remember. So this comment is what made me think about it, because she explains that her husband is still coming to terms with the fact that he's got a child, which is a lot to deal with. But she's trying to be like level-headed about the situation, right. And it's like somebody needs to. It
may sound blunt and brute, but someone's got to be in check on it.
Yeah, someone's got to be not crying in their fucking boots so that it can be taken care of.
Right? Hold the puke bucket, bitch.
So, I lied. There's one more, and then the update one. This one is from Retail Hell. I got some stories from Retail Hell, but I'll just let your kids get kidnapped next time. So today at my store, I was working at the self-checkout. I had these two little girls that had to be around 5 and 3. They were walking alone near the registers on their iPads and with their headphones on and barely paying attention to anything. I went to them and asked what their parents were. Now, apparently they told me the shop, as in the barber shop inside of the store I work in. This translated in my brain as my store, and we're a massive superstore. So I asked the kids to hang out with me for a second, and I make some phone calls, standard procedures, yada yada. All once is said and done, I'm readjusting some of the electric carts in their charging station, and the mom comes to me with an attitude and says, "I understand you were nervous, but you know where they were going," and I'm shaking with rage.
Oh my God.
And how dare I keep her children held up, yada yada. I forgot most. She then said she wanted me to get a good look at her face for future reference so I would know not to hold up her children. Apparently, she had let them walk to the bathroom by themselves at 5 and 3?
Right. Like,
Jesus fucking Christ. Anyways, the thing is, though, our store is under some major renovation, and the only bathrooms are at the very back of the store where the mom worked is at the very front, or must have been what was? I don't know. Like, damn, sorry, not everyone is willing to neglect your toddlers as much as you are. Edit. Right? After my shift, I got out around 10:10. The mom came back with the girls to complain about me to my manager, and I saw her walking back to her car conveniently. I am having some problems today. At least with this story. Conveniently parked next to mine.
Oh.
The parking lot was around the same size as the store itself and honestly poorly lit, and she had them walking behind her in the parking lot. Update, since I knew her workplace, I tracked her down and reported her to the local child protective services. Thank you all for your words and support.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that is spicy. So, okay, so wait, they told me the shop is. So her parents were at the shop. So wait, like her mom like works at the barber? There isn't a bathroom there? There's a bathroom in there. What?
You got a salon of some
Something
type.
Is.
Right,
I mean, I
like
guess
it's like the Walmart, They got like the little eyeglasses here and the haircuts here and the cafe or whatever.
Yeah. So and then I'm thinking
giant big superstore.
Well, for us, but so I'm just thinking.
I ain't letting my 3 and 5-year-old out of my sight in public.
I wouldn't even let a 10-year-old out of my sight in public in a store.
Yeah. No. No.
Excuse me? That's like the people, like.
Yeah, if it was like when we were kids and shit, you got found and you're off like locked up in the lost and found children area.
Man.
And the PA, so-and-so's kid here in the little fenced-in area. Yeah. We'll have them locked in here until the store closes until you return.
Yeah, right. That's
like at the water park. It was like this little gated room. Like, all the little lost children, shove them in here.
This comment says, you did the right thing. In Australia, there is a case where 2 little girls went to the bathroom like they had done many times before a football game. I think they were 11 and 4-ish, and they were never seen again.
Mm-hmm. It happens every day. Like, oh.
Yeah, that mother is an idiot.
Yes, absolutely. Exactly.
I almost wonder, like,
next time we'll just let your kids get fucking kidnapped.
Yeah, like
human trafficked and shit. Who knows?
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
Especially like Michigan has got like the top 3 of human trafficking.
So when I was doing magazines, I did them late because I was working 3 jobs. So like when I did them was midnight or so, and my dad actually made me like a
shiv.
It's not a shiv. It was for my keychain, and it's a 1-inch steel ball, and it's wrapped in like paracord.
Oh yeah,
and like so like yeah. But he made it for me to put on my keychain and was like, hey, like when you leave at night, put this on there, because during the time that I was working and doing that was right around when the news was doing articles on like women and children were trying to get snatched out of the parking lot over by like TJ Maxx and
right in
Meijer
Walmart and Marquette.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, yeah, so like
you don't think it's gonna happen by it, but it literally was happening. Yeah,
so I mean, I always had something. I had a little hammer in my car too for the longest time. I remember at Skankapalooza, it was on the roof of my RAV4. It was on the roof of my RAV4 for like 3 weeks after that. Actually, no, it would have been longer because it was on there from Skankapalooza along with my toothbrush. Toothbrush did not make it. Yeah, toothbrush was gone. It was the hammer made it from Skankapalooza through the race and then lasted like a whole nother week. And then I was on my way out from Meijer, and I was like, what is on top of my car? And I was like kind of like freaking out because I was like
scared slide.
Well, no, I wasn't even driving. I was walking to my car and I saw something shiny like
and I was like caught a glimpse of it.
Did someone put something on my car? Like, I don't know what a fucking tracker looks like, and I don't know. And then I get over there and I'm like, that's a mini hammer.
That's one thing I don't like about Jeeps. Either weirdos leaving little rubber duckies and stuff. It's like, stay away from my car. I'd be so freaked out. People are leaving weird shit on the thing.
Yeah, I remember one time when I was working at the gas station, this guy came in, and I can't remember what the magnet said, but he said he came in and he had a drive-by magneting in our parking lot. Someone came through the parking lot and slapped a bunch of magnets on everybody's cars. And they were like, it was something really funny, whatever it was.
Magnetizer.
Yeah, and he was like, I just got drive-by magneted. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah. And then he showed me the magnet. I can't remember what it was. I was the customer that called me White Satan, actually, because I got my tattoo right here that says Knights in White Satin, and you can only see white satin in my uniform. And yeah, it's a disaster.
New nickname.
So, okay.
Edited one.
Yeah, this is the update one. So, there's 2 parts to this. So, this is the first part. This is 27 days ago. Am I the asshole for telling my husband's affair baby's family to either come get the kid or I am calling CPS? Ooh.
The affair baby?
Yeah, my husband's affair baby's family. So wait. Because that would be like the affair. Yeah, it would be the affair. So the lady.
Kid, the family.
So like, yeah, I'm almost like, okay, let's read. I, female 53, soon to be ex-husband Roger 47, whom I forgave for his affair, came home with the baby 4 months ago. His girlfriend, 22, Jesus, could not handle it anymore and brought the baby to him at work and left. To the best of his knowledge, she is in Spain. I allowed him to stay so long as I didn't have to do anything. Well, about a month ago, Roger had a heart attack. It didn't kill him, more's the pity, but he is very weak and incapable of doing anything for himself. Since he isn't up and he cannot care for this child, he also cannot drop off and pick up his son at daycare. I've been helping him, but I'm done. My kids are full grown. I shouldn't be having grandkids anytime soon. I do not have any desire to care for a baby. I told Roger that I want a divorce, and I contacted the mother's parents. I know the father through friends. They said that they had until Friday to come get their grandchild, or I was calling CPS. They just left with the baby, but they scolded me for being so cold towards a baby that had done me no harm. I viewed that child differently. Roger is recovering, and I will be moving out. The house is in his name, but I have never contributed to it. I have the equivalent of 22 years of rent and interest put away. And as per our prenup, my savings are my own. I work and I don't need anything out of this marriage except myself. My kids tried telling me to stay and help their father. I said that they were welcome to come over and help him with cleaning himself and the baby. Both declined, which was what I felt was a fair offer. I do not feel that I am acting badly. However, Roger, our children, his child's family, and a few mutual friends think I am. Perhaps writing this out and seeing responses will give me clarity. That's not your baby?
Yeah, I'm like, go you, because, whoa.
Okay, yeah.
Whoa.
So, like...
You already done leveled up. What's your 40s, 50s? And you brought a baby home from your 22-year-old that can't handle it, so she's in Spain.
So...
Yeah.
So I think this is an interesting one because we're both married. So now, okay. So let's say, we're in this situation, right? And I'm just thinking of myself as a 53-year-old person finding out that my spouse had an affair. And for me, we would be married at this point for 30 plus years. Wait, no, that's a long time. It'd be a little less than that. It'd be 20 something. But anyways, 20 years, we'll say, you had an affair. Okay, things were ended. Let's work through this. We'll say that's what the route we're going to go.
But I ain't raising that fucking kid.
So, right. So at this point, bets are still on the table. I'm still going to have my cards. I don't know how to play poker, but we'll see how it goes. And then, a baby happens. So actually, wait, no, I have to think. So at first I would think, it depends. If I was lied to about the age, like if I didn't know about the age, then I probably would be like, okay, we can work past this. And then if I found out about the baby, I'd be like, holy shit, this is crazy. I don't think I can work past this. But then I remind myself and I think back, so 22 years old, that is like, that's predatory. I think that I would actually probably be like,
you're old enough to
I think
be her
right
dad.
then and there, like, yeah, exactly. I feel like, so 47 to 22, I think at that point, I would probably actually be like, yeah, I think if you want to be with someone who's 22, you can go ahead and fucking do that, apparently.
Yeah, because I for surely ain't raising that fucking baby.
Yeah, but so, see, and then, okay, so baby out of the equation.
Yeah.
You find out your spouse of 20 years is cheating on you with someone who is been out of high school for 4 years.
Yeah, I've been over. I don't know.
Did they graduate college yet?
Barely out of high school.
Ew. Okay. So
All right. What's our?
Yeah. Do we want to do like the top comment here?
Yeah. Let's read a comment and then
we'll go to the update.
Because
not the asshole. Let me get this straight though. No one is upset at the real mom who took off for Spain, leaving her kid. It all seems like the hostility is being misdirected towards you, who got dumped on more than once. You're doing the right thing. At some point, mom is more likely going to show back up, want the kid, and money to support it. Get away from that man as fast as you can. As far as your kids go, it sounds like they think you have some responsibility to support the guy who cheated on you for life, so they can enjoy theirs without that added burden. Hopefully they will wake up and realize that this is placing you in an abusive situation. Wait until Roger passes and they all want a part of the house, and little miss guess who, if she finds out, wants a piece for her kid too. I bet their opinions change real fast. So yeah, I know. I honestly totally forgot. Like, nobody's gonna like say anything about the 22-year-old who just ran away from her baby.
Yeah, I'm bent on it. Yes. If she ain't taking care of it, that family, whoever, it's this baby.
So, and then on top of that, like,
up.
You know what? Okay,
so goddamn 22-year-old get her pregnant.
So, like, I get why people are upset, because you like, you know what? You're right. This baby is innocent, but unfortunately, for some people, because of how this baby was created,
that baby in that situation.
Well, exactly. So, like, I mean, like, okay, a child who's conceived from a rape. I'm not saying that child doesn't deserve to live. I'm just saying that maybe the person who is birthing that child doesn't want to see that child for very, very good reasons. Looking at that child could very well be traumatizing. Mm-hmm. I mean,
so many different situations of it.
It's crazy. Okay. Update on telling my husband's affair baby's family to come either get the kid or I'm calling CPS. I'm no longer divorcing Roger. There were complications from his heart attack and he's passed away. Oh shit. Did you even hear that?
I heard upstairs, and then I pressed the button, and then retract that.
I'm no longer divorcing Roger.
Yeah.
There were complications from his heart attack, and he has passed away. I am conflicted. He was the love of my love, but I feel like that's supposed to say life. He was the love of my life, but is also a cheating piece of trash. To the best of my knowledge, the mother will not return from Europe. The child is currently with her parents. They asked me what I wanted to do. I recommended adoption. Not that I adopt the child, that they put the child up for adoption. They didn't like that. They didn't like that suggestion. Neither did my children. They said I'm being cold and cruel. I suggested that since the child was related to them and not to me, that they step up. Neither has accepted that suggestion either. I was the sole beneficiary of Roger's estate, so I imagine lawyers will be involved in getting the child some sort of support. I will pay whatever is ordered by the court out of the estate. I will not pay 1 cent of my money. That is all I have to say on this matter. So,
Mason, what did they say? Mason call, but damn, go you.
Hey, excuse me. So I know that my daughter fucked your husband and had his baby, and now he's dead. But can you please just take the fucking baby? Like, damn kick. She's still in Europe. She's still up in Spain. Sorry, no. You can just give him up for adoption. Like, what? Reasonable.
I mean, yeah, it's great. Oh my goodness!
I just can't even. I wish that, like,
well, we're not getting divorced now because he's dead.
Like on yeah, right. I wish that like that could be on camera though, like just like ring ring. Yeah. So, are you sure you don't want the baby from my daughter fucking your husband? Like, come on.
Are you sure?
Like,
oh my!
I can't imagine how frustrating it would be to raise a child who then fully abandoned their own child after they fucked someone's husband. But like,
and expect them to take care of the child. Oh,
I mean, I guess, you know what, though? It kind of makes sense, hey? Because, like they just are like, well, could someone else take care of it? Like, is that what happened with their kid? And then maybe that's why she just decided to go to Spain. Maybe they have a house there as a family. And that's where mom and dad went to. They were like, oh my God, we just had a baby. Just leave her with grandma. We're going to go to Spain. We'll come back when you're 14. And then, like, they came back and and she was like, wow, I'm 14. And then 6 years later, she was pregnant.
And the cycle starts all over again. Oh my gosh.
That's so crazy to me too, because like I remember reading this when it first came out, because it literally wasn't even a month ago. So like we barely had started this, and I was like, well, this is a good one. But when I read it, it was like there was only like 4 or 5 comments when I first found it. So I was like, I'm going to let this sit. Because a lot of times, like, I'll go on to Reddit and I'll see a lot of new stuff that doesn't have a whole lot of comments on it. So sometimes I try to like search for older stuff. But sometimes, man, my feed is just real spicy all the time. It was kind of funny earlier because I was doing shit on the computer, and then somehow I was like updating my tablet, messing on my phone, messing on the computer, and I had like stuff going on both screens. So I had like 5 screens in front of me, and somehow I still ended up on Reddit in like 2 spots. And I was like,
ding, ding, ding,
I'm like, what's going on? Like, I'm not even trying to be on Reddit right now. And then that's when I kept like things kept giving me errors, and I was like, what is going on? And then all of a sudden we were 54 years old on Reddit.
1969.
You know what? I'm gonna
see how old we are now.
I just want to see, like, when was Reddit created? 2005. Reddit was created 2005. So
we've been since 1969.
We're fucking OG Redditors. I bet nobody else got
Back to the future shit.
I bet nobody else got a 54-year-old page.
It's so weird. Stupid smart shit.
Yeah, that's because like that's not the birthday.
That's Reddit age.
Yeah,
that's pretty great.
Yeah. So actually, what's really funny is like on here it says like it just says the Reddit age, but like there's a cake day. That's like the day that you made your account, which is not
1969.
That's not 1969. You're right. It's not 1969. It's way after that. So after, where am I? I'm so like thrown off because the picture is not there. So I'm like, I don't know where I am. So
the icon's totally different.
Yeah,
she's gone.
Yeah, well, Ask the Conch icon. Right? So, what do you think was the theme today? Since it kind of really got
fuckery was all over the board, hey?
Yeah, I mean
there was a lot of fuckery. Max the meter on the fuckery.
So
what are you thinking?
I just keep laughing at this last story that we read about the fair baby. I'm definitely calling CPS.
I'm definitely calling CPS. Good news, we're not getting divorced.
Yeah.
The fuckery. Oh.
We could just call it, we're no longer divorcing Roger.
No post up for Roger.
I wish I could like actually put fuck in the title. Just be like, fuck that kid. Or fuck them kids.
Fuck them kids. FDK. Fuck them kids.
Oh, FDK.
Yes, there it is. FDK. Fuck them kids.
Especially your we'll have to do like like a fuck them parents episode or something too.
Ooh, yeah.
That would be a good
There we
one.
go.
Fuck them kids, FDK.
FDK.
Well, that was
I got some big scruffy laugh going.
yeah, that was a good one. That was
Ooh.
well. Thanks for listening. If you're just listening, thanks for watching. If you're listening and watching,
Oh, squeaky picture, get me again.
don't forget to like and subscribe and fuck Roger.
Fuck Roger.
Actually, well, don't fuck Roger. I mean, I guess
you can't.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Well, some people would, but
Anyways.